everyone here at BookTube. Welcome to my channel, Hamsavahini Vajra Astra. I'm Ahonath. Today's video is going to be my quick and very late wrap-up of Non-Fiction November. Now, Non-Fiction November commenced from the 1st of November 2020 and it continued till the 30th of November 2020. And this readathon was created by Olive from A Book Olive, and it was co-hosted by a bunch of wonderful people whose announcement videos I've given in the description box below for you to click and check. Also, there was another readathon, which was a non-fiction readathon, also known as Non-Fiction November, but it also had a different name, which was DramaQueenAThon, which I also participated in, which ran along the same side. So most of my TBR for Non-Fiction November and a few books from DramaQueenAthon also coincided. Besides this, I'd like to mention that I really did not get much time to read, and that's because I was away for the Diwali celebrations from the last week of October till the 3rd week of November. So I did try to read as much as possible, and I had created my TBR based around classical Indian dance and classical Indian yoga. Now, Olive had given us 4 words around which we could create our TBRs according to our own interpretation. So the first word which she had given was time, the second word was movement, the third word was buzz, and the fourth word was discovery. So I had created my TBR around these 4 words, but there were also 2 other books which I did stumble across during the first week of November, when I'd already created and posted my TBR video for Non-Fiction November, and I did end up reading those 2 books as well. So those were books which were included, which I would say I included in my TBR, because I did find that they were fitting the 4 words I would say more appropriately than the TBRs which I had created. So let me first get down to the books which I managed to get through in the month of November. So the first book, which in fact, some of the books did continue, or I did finish a couple of books during the first few days of December, say by 1st or 2nd or 3rd of December, but then yes, I did manage to finish most of it in the month of November. Now, the first book which I had chosen to read for Non-Fiction November was Women of Pride, the Devadasi Heritage, which has been written by Lakshmi Vishwanathan. Now, this book, I've chosen this book for the words buzz as well as movement, because first, this book talks about the Devadasi movement, which is a very popular movement which has been prevalent in India since a long time, especially for the South Indian tradition of temple revival and dance revival, etc. So that's in for the movement. And second, it's I have also included this for the word buzz, which I had not done previously, because after going through this book, I realized that it's all about the temple. These ladies were all the buzz during the ancient times, so the word time was also coming in this as well. What I did find in this book is that this book takes us through a very beautiful journey, as well as a very realistic journey of the women who were called Devadasis. Now, the term Devadasi has been coined by putting together 2 words, Deva, which means God, and Dasi, which means servant. So these women who were dedicated at a very young age to, or married to the temple deities, were educated in the Vedas, in the Puranas, and in the Upanishads, and they were very well educated. They were from very noble families, and they led a life in which they had to dedicate themselves to the temple development and to the workings of the temple, and to uphold and upgrade the traditions of the temple through dance and music. There was also a mention about the old ancient traditions which were present, and also how some of the girls later on were inducted or were taken in from poor agricultural families. This book also talks about the way in which the Devadasis were first treated as professional women, because these were the first professional women of India. They had no obligations of marriage in the society, and therefore their only sole purpose was to make sure that the temple is run from the money that used to be generated through the temples, especially to the temple patrons who used to come to the festivals and who used to be the host for the festivals, etc. Also, they were part of a very important temple tradition in South India. So the deity, during the festivals, of course, when the deity of the temple was welcomed, there were rituals and ceremonies which were conducted by the old priests, but then there was also a lot which was done with regards to the devotional aspect of the deities. And I do apologize, that's my phone. So there was a devotional aspect which was done through or demonstrated, and the stories were told and enacted through the science of dramaturgy, because these Devadasis used to be living the Natya Veda. So Natya Veda is a science of dramaturgy, and Indian classical dance and music is also included in it. So the entire wisdom of the Upanishads as well as the Vedas is all summarized into a beautiful dance ballet, which is what was enacted by these girls. And this book further goes on to talk about the way in which, or the point from which, this corruption started setting in the temple tradition, when the kings were looked upon as the divine embodiments of the temple deities as well, and then they were put in the position of a mortal representation of Godhead. And as a mortal representation, obviously the king started demanding their own rights and the privileges which were given to the deity in the temple, and therefore these Devadasis, who were absolutely sacred and pure, were then supposed to entertain the kings, and they started dwindling away, and they were degraded to courtesans, and the king had his scholars, as well as the king had his own favorites amongst rich people, and these Devadasis had to entertain them as well. So the entire tradition of the sacredness of temple art was then dwindled away. And then how invasions of the Mughal Empire, as well as later on the British colonial influence, further pushed them back into the recesses of the society, and they became shadows of the society from the very strong and influential position that they first enjoyed within the society, or the Indian society. So it gives a very beautiful way, or a very progressive way, and a very realistic outlook on how the entire tradition of Devadasi slowly and gradually degraded itself, and because of which there are now movements in South India which is dedicated to restoring the original sacredness and the purity of the dance, as well as the technical aspects of the Devadasi. And a lot has been written in this book. I also coupled this book with DramaQueenAthon, which was the other non-fiction readathon which I participated in, and I had read this very same book, and I have mentioned a lot about this book in that particular video. So I have posted a link to the respective video in the description box below. So in case if you are really interested in knowing more about the highlights of this particular book, do please check that link. And I will be back with another video soon. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Do please click on the like button if you enjoyed all the content of this video, and also don't forget to click on the subscribe button for more upcoming videos as well. And please click on the bell icon for all the notifications which you would be receiving. And with that, I would thank you for joining me once again, and have a good reading week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.